I'm Jon Webster, Webster Race Engineering owner. We build specialised cars, mainly race cars, based around drag racing. I first got involved with drag racing by illegal street racing back in the early 80s. We just built a car with a V8 in it and tried to see how fast it was down some dead end roads. We got shut down, which is always going to be inevitable. And thought our only option was to go up to Santa Pod. So once you get that timing ticket, you get this dangling carrot in front of you that kind of go, oh, you know, if we can make it a bit faster here and a bit faster there. And 35 years later, we're still chasing that faster number. Drag racing to me is a lifestyle, I guess you'd call it. The family are really supportive. They're involved. So obviously it's my work, so it's more or less like a full-time weekends, 24-hour day type thing. Currently we're running 2 cars. The main car is obviously the Mustang. The Mustang's quite expensive to run. It's quite to get parts for if we damage it. Angler is quite a popular class. And there's not really a lot of rules, there's specific rules related to it, but you've got kind of a free hand with weight and engine in power adders and stuff like that. I had a load of parts lying around, axle parts and chassis parts and stuff like that. So I had an order for a car that got postponed, so it meant the jig was free for a little while, and thought I'll build an outlaw Angler with all these parts that I've got and sell it. I did that, and it was probably over a year period that I built it, and thought, oh, we'll run it, test it, and then put it up for sale, which we duly did. And the car was so good and so much fun but it had to be like developed. It was kind of a bit quirky to drive, so I thought I don't really want to give this to anybody without it being predictable and stuff like that. So we set about kind of developing it a little bit in between running the Mustang. But what actually happened in reality was that because the Mustang needs servicing and parts so often, it became a substitute car, and it was like the Mustang's quite serious, and we still have a really good time with the Mustang, but it's a little bit more concentration, a little bit more serious. But the pops, we always have a laugh and a joke, and it's like so easy to run, but it's really quick and stuff like that. It gets a lot of attention, and from a driver's point of view, it's just really ace to drive. So yeah, it becomes this substitute car. But I knew at some point it had to go. So this year, after progressing so much towards the line last year, we came out of the Festival Power, car ran a 5 straight away, which was really great. Went to do the door slammers, car ran good, ran a 5.90, which was our quickest run. But unfortunately we broke a rod at the finish line. So where we hoped to sort of have a year of development improving the car, it was cut short by the damage that was done at the door slammers. And we would have been out quicker had parts been available, more readily available, but it's been so difficult to get the right parts. We wanted to test the car before this event, so this event runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we got a run on track at first qualifier on the Friday, and ended up running a 5.92 at 243. It shook a little bit, so it wasn't perfect, and it picked the wheels up mid-track. 13 inches at 400 feet at 190 odd miles an hour. The 592 was a good run, but there was definitely room for improvements. The Saturday we come out for the qualifying session 1, which ended up in Q3, and the car didn't burn out great. It seemed hesitant to spin the tyres, so unfortunately in the other lane, David Vector I think was on the other lane, they run a supercharged car, and you can't hear, because our car's so quiet, you can't hear what's going on. Dashboard didn't really tell me anything was wrong, so when I went to stage the car, it took quite a while to spool. Because it's an FIA event, there's a timeout for staging, so David Vector had gone straight in. We had 8 seconds to spool and get in. It took too long, so we got a red light. But it was all a bit irrelevant, because it ended up that we had a blocked oil feed to the rocker stand on the passenger side, and it burnt 4 push rods during the burnout. That's why we took long to spool up. So that was a rush around for the final qualifying session, because so we were now not qualified, especially after getting the red light in Q3. So Q4 meant everything. Getting to Q4 proved quite difficult. We got there, but with the push rod damage we had to find out we knew what the symptom was. We had to find the cause. Within 5 minutes of getting called to go down, we thought, okay, we're done. Got in the car to start it. No power in the car, and for whatever reason, the 600-pound unit that powers the car up had decided not to work anymore. So, like I say, 5 minutes to go, you're kind of rushing around trying to fix it. We fixed it. We got down, and I thought, right, I'm not gonna get a red light. I'm gonna make sure this thing spools as on boost. So we were against Strobel. So I just put the car straight in stage, waited for him to go up, then I sat and boosted the car. It was the quickest it's ever run at 60, 330, the 8th. I lifted, it nosed over about 900 foot and lifted. Unfortunately, it damaged the piston. So the damage for the piston, looking back on the data, actually happened when it did the push rods, because the cylinder got a bit hot although there was no obvious damage when we ran the engine subsequent to that. Analysing it afterwards, when it's done the piston, you look at the piston, it's not actually burnt down the side of the piston or anything like that, like it's gone lean. It actually looks like structural damage to the piston from the previous run, and then the heat and the boost on the run where it did the piston, it actually just punched a hole in the middle of the piston, mechanical. There's no debris in there to cause it. It's actually just failed, the piston's failed. So we got overnight to repair it and that kind of stuff, so we set about analysing what we needed to do to repair it. And the first thing to look at when we have debris going through the engine is the turbo. If the turbo's damaged, that's our primary problem. But unfortunately the turbo had taken out the exhaust wheel, and we didn't have a spare turbo. So that brought the weekend to an end for us. But nevertheless, it was a really promising weekend. The car, when everything was fine off the start line, the car performed as it did at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. We're so pleased with it that pretty much every time we've turned out since getting the car to work, it repeats. So there's idiosyncrasies we still need to fix, so we just got to figure out how to make it a bit more reliable or be in a better position to swap stuff out more regular, which means obviously more work and more funding, that kind of stuff. But we're so pleased with it, and so it looks so promising that we're encouraged to carry on.